to the next point. We should ensure whatever we say is clear.
That means work is being done. We can see that it is in opposite direction.
Hello, my wonderful students at home. I'm glad to meet you once more. I'm Abbas Shehu by name, your commerce teacher. Today I'm here to take you on a topic that's very wide, known as trade. Under this topic, we intend to cover the following areas: meaning of trade, division of trade, division of home trade, retail trade, retailer, factors to consider when setting up retail trade, classification of retail trade, small-scale retailing, reasons why retail business may fail, and the last one, difficulties encountered by small-scale retailers. The first one, which is the meaning of trade. What is trade? Trade is the art of buying and selling of goods and services for the purpose of making profit. It is the art of buying and selling. Anyone you see engaged in buying and selling of goods and services, he is doing what is known as trade. And he is by name a trader. Now, having said what we mean by trade, we'll go straight to look at what we mean by what is called division of trade. Trade is divided into two, known as home trade and foreign trade. Home trade and foreign trade. This lesson, we intend to look at home trade. We shall be looking at foreign trade in our subsequent lessons. Now, what do we mean by home trade? Remember, we started from trade. So trade is the art of buying and selling of goods and services for the purpose of making profit. And we are now going further to look at division of trade. And we say it's divided into two, home trade and foreign trade. We are not going to talk about foreign trade. Our focus today will be on home trade. Now, what is home trade? Home trade is defined as the buying and selling of goods and services within a geographical area, usually a country. You can say, if you like, it is the buying and selling of goods and services within a country. The buying and selling that takes place within a particular country. For example, Nigeria. Where somebody from Kano moves to Lagos to buy goods, he's doing what is known as home trade. Where somebody from Port Harcourt moves from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, he's doing what is known as home trade. Then we are now going further to look at division of home trade. We have talked about what trade is, division of trade, where we have home trade and foreign trade. We are now going to talk about division of home trade. I need you to be very careful so that you get these things and get them right. Now, home trade is subdivided into two. We have what is known as retail trade and wholesale trade. Here we come again. Remember I told you when we were talking about division of trade that we have home trade and foreign trade. And I said we are not going to talk about foreign trade. We are going to talk about home trade. Under home trade is divided into two, retail trade and wholesale trade. And again, here we are not going to talk about wholesale trade. We are going to talk about retail trade. We are going to limit ourselves to retail trade. Now, what do we mean by retail trade? Retail trade is the art of buying of goods and services in small quantities from the wholesaler and selling to the final consumers in smaller units or smaller quantities. It is the art of buying goods from the wholesaler and selling to the consumers. This art is what is referred to as retail trade. It is a type of trade where all activities are directed to the final consumers. It is the commonest form of home trade. It is a trade that deals directly with the consumers. Goods are bought in large or small quantities from the wholesalers and are sold to the final consumers in units, in smaller quantities. This trade is what is referred to as retail trade. Now, having said what we mean by retail trade, we go to who is a retailer. In your exams, you may be asked a question of this, like this. Who is a retailer? A retailer is a person who engages in the act of buying from the wholesaler in small quantities and selling to the final consumers in smaller quantities. The person who is doing that kind of trade is the one that is referred to as retailer. The retailer is the third link in the channel of distribution. We have what is known as channel of distribution. And that's talking about how goods flow from the point of production to the point of consumption. The first person in the link is the producer or manufacturer. After that, the goods move to the wholesaler, from wholesaler to the retailer, from retailer to the final consumer. Now we go straight to characteristics of a retailer, features of a retailer. Number one, sells in small quantities. The retailers sell the goods in smaller quantities. He sells directly to the ultimate consumers. That's true. Number three, his business location is open to all customers. It's open to the general customers, general consumers. Number four, he stocks and sells varieties of goods. When you go to a retail shop, you will see different types of goods that are sold there. Number five, his wares consist of fast-selling products that are usually consumable goods, fast-selling goods. Number six, he is the last link in the channel of distribution. We go now to the functions of a retailer. The functions of a retailer. Number one, he sells in smaller quantities to the consumers. If you look at this, you will see that the functions and the characteristics, some of them are interwoven. Number two, he provides after-sales service. Retailer provides after-sales service. And what do we mean by that? After-sales service is when it's the service a retailer offers to the seller, to the buyer or consumer after goods have been sold, like taking care of repairs, giving the consumers guarantee that after a year, if anything happens to for example, you are buying a refrigerator, he can tell you that after a year, if anything happens to it, come back to me, I will take care of repairing it for you. That's what you call after-sales service, or taking the goods down to his place, transporting the goods. All these are known as after-sales service. Number three, he stocks varieties of goods. We have mentioned this in terms of the features or characteristics of a retailer. Number four, he supplies information to the wholesalers or manufacturers concerning the reactions of consumers, concerning how consumers feel about certain goods that are produced and sold to them. Number five, he sells at the convenient places and hours. Convenient places. Sometimes you see retailers moving from one point to another, selling their wares, selling their goods. And they operate sometimes 24 hours. Number six, he ensures door-to-door service. Move from one point to another. Sometimes right in front of your house or compound. Number seven, he gives advice to his customers. He advises his customers on what to use, what to buy. Number eight, he grants credit facilities to them, sell goods to them on credit. That's talking about the functions of a retailer. Now we go to factors to consider when setting up retail trade or retail business. There are so many factors. Number one, the capital, how much is involved. You want to set up a retail business, a retail outlet, you look at how much money is going to be required, how much money is needed for the business to run. The amount this helps you to know whether you are going to set up a small-scale retailing or a large-scale retailing. Number two, we talk about the pricing policy. How much are you going to put? Are you going to tag as price for your goods? In this case, you have to consider your competitors. How much are they selling their own? How much are you going to put as the price for your goods? That will help you to know whether you can succeed or not. If you go and put higher price than them, you're in trouble. They will run and buy their goods, leaving you with their own goods. Number three, source of supply. Where are you going to get your supplies? From where? Who are going to be your suppliers? Are they going to be wholesalers? Or if they're wholesalers, what types of wholesalers are they? You consider all these things. Number four, you talk about the types of goods you want to be selling. Are you going to be dealing with goods that are perishable goods or durable goods? What types of goods are you going to be dealing with? You have to consider that before you set up a retail business. Number five, types of trade. What are those things that will be made available to your customers in terms of discounts, in terms of moving the goods from your point of source to the point where they will use the goods? All these things are what you call types of trade. You have to consider that too. Number six, experience. You are going into business, you have to consider whether you have the experience in terms of the business. If you don't have experience, you look for those that have experience and share experience so that they share the experience with you for you to be a better manager. Number seven, advertising. What advertising media are you going to use to inform the public about what you're selling? For them to know, for them to come and buy. And number eight, location. Where are you going to locate your business? Is the place suitable for your business? Is this place suitable for the types of business you want to do? You have to consider all these things. And these are the factors that we are talking about when we're talking about factors to consider before setting up a retail business. Now we go to the next item, which is talking about classification of retail trade. Classification of retail trade. They are classified into two, namely small-scale retailing and then large-scale retailing. Small-scale retailing and large-scale retailing. And again, here, we are also going to limit ourselves in small-scale retailing. Small-scale retailing. I hope you are following what I'm saying. We have been breaking down topics into subtopics, so on and so forth. We are going to talk about only small-scale retailing for now. Now, these are retail businesses with small scope in terms of their operations. That's why they're called small-scale retailing. They have a small scope. They include the following. We have hawking, mobile shop, street or roadside trading, market trader or store trader, unit stores or tied shops, small stores, kiosks, so on and so forth. We'll look at them one by one. Hawking, or what is known as itinerant or peddling, is a form of small retail business in which the merchants or traders move their goods from one place to another on their heads. Sometimes they carry the goods on their heads. Sometimes they carry the goods using bicycles or vehicles. They move from point to place to place, selling their goods. We call them hawkers. They are hawkers. What they are doing is known as hawking, or it's known as peddling. Characteristics of hawking. Number one, it is a small-scale retail business because it uses small capital. Sometimes somebody carrying goods, certain goods that are on his head, costing less than 500 or even 1,000. It is a small-scale business. Number two, there are different types of goods that are sold. Different types of goods are sold to consumers in small units. Number three, it provides door-to-door service. Sometimes you are at home, you hear somebody coming to your doorstep saying, buy bread, buy this and buy that. Number four, it requires small amount of capital to start up. Small amount of money can be used to start a business. Number five, goods are relatively cheaper because they don't pay shops. They don't pay anything like rent, shop rent. Number 6, it involves low cost of advertising. They don't even advertise in most cases. They are the ones that advertise for themselves because by moving from one place to another, they are telling people what they are selling, showing people what they are selling. Number 7, it involves movement of goods from one place to another. Hawking means moving. You don't hawk, you hawk when you move. Number 8, they do not pay any rent. And number 9, the last one we have here, convenient goods such as wares and food items are offered for sales. Convenient goods. When you are passing major roads, you see them holding, drinks, snacks, selling to the general public. Now we go to advantages of hawking. Advantages of hawking. Number 1, it requires small amount of money to set up. Number 2, it provides door-to-door services. Number 3, it provides opportunity for self-employment. Many people are employed. For young school leavers, many young school leavers are into this. Number 4, it is a form of advertising. Number 5, prices are usually low. When you talk about hawking, hawkers sell their goods low. Number 6, no running cost is involved. They don't incur any cost of rent, cost of electricity, water bill. No, they don't have that at all. Number 7, the last one, many people can be rich. Many people can be rich because they move from one place to another, from house to house. Major motor parks, major roads, so on and so forth. Now we talk about disadvantages of hawking. Number 1, hawkers are exposed to dangers of road. Sometimes moving in between cars, vehicles, they can be hit by a car, thereby causing accidents. Number 2, there is limitation to the quantity of goods that they can carry. The quantity of goods they can carry. When somebody that is carrying goods on heads, of course, the heads cannot carry as much goods as when it is in the shop. Number 3, it can disrupt the free flow of traffic. The free flow of traffic can be disturbed because of their movement within cars, within vehicles that are passing. Number 4, it contributes to the problems of refuse disposal in cities. Sometimes when people buy soft drinks from hawkers, after drinking, they dispose it on the road. And that is not help matters. It's contribution to the problem of environment. Number 5, the last one, young hawkers are disposed to being influenced by bad people, thereby causing or adding social vices. That's talking about the first small-scale retailing known as hawking. Go now to the second one, which is known as mobile shop. Number 2, small-scale retailing is mobile shop. Just like we hear, mobile, it is something that has to do with movement too. So a mobile shop is a form of small-scale retailing in which goods are arranged, but this time around in a motor van. And they move from one place to another in order to reach their target customers, target consumers. The goods are moved from one place to another in lorries, wheelbarrows, motor vans, etc. Sometimes you see a van that moves with drinks, snacks. Sometimes you see a van moving with wares. They display the goods on the van. That's what you call mobile shop. Number 3, small-scale retailing is known as street or roadside trading. Street or roadside trading. Street or roadside trading is a form of small-scale retailing where traders display their wares along the streets, roads, outside the gate of a school, or other organizations, etc. They display their goods. They don't move like the hawkers, like the mobile shops. They station themselves in major roads. They display their wares for people to pass in to see and buy. Sometimes they go to a school, displays their goods in front of the school gate. Sometimes they go to an organization, place their goods in front of that particular organization. Now, what are the features of this type of small-scale retailing? Number one, they operate from one point. Yes, they stay in one place. They don't move. Number two, they stock varieties of goods too. Number three, they are found in busy roads. That's where the customers are likely to be. And junctions. Number four, they display their goods for sale, for people to see and buy. They display them. Number five, their prices are also low, just like the mobile shop, just like the hawkers. Just talking about the third one, we now move to the fourth one, which is a market trader or store holder. Market trader or store holder. It's talking about market, as you can see here from the name. It's talking about market where a person owns a shop there. And he sells goods through operating the shop or the store that is open from a particular hours to another. You go to market, you see people having shops there. They are called retailers, and they are operating what is known as small-scale retailing. Their features are: one, they have stores, shops in the market. Two, they're normally open for specific hours, from 7 to 6, as the case may be. Number three, traders are zoned according to the type of goods they sell. Traders are zoned according to the type of goods they sell. You go to a place where you see people selling beef. You go to a place where you see people selling foodstuff, wares, shoes, so on and so forth. That's talking about the fourth one. We now go to the fifth one, which is talking about unit stores or tied shops. Unit stores or tied shops. These are forms of small-scale retailers that operate in rural and urban areas. They are located in rented places or residences which can be easily accessible. They are usually confined to one line of business. Sometimes somebody can operate this kind of store in front of his house, for example. Then we go to the last one, so go to the last one, which is small stores. They are located in front of residential houses of the traders. They sell in much more smaller quantity and mostly handle small unit of goods for the convenience. They are usually sole proprietors, and it requires a small amount of money to set up small stores. It's just a small place where people operate their business. Somebody can even use his house to just build a structure that people can be buying through a window. The last one we have, as far as small-scale retailing is concerned, is known as kiosks. Kiosks are small enclosed structures, open with one side or window, used as booths to stand to sell goods, such as newspapers, cigarettes, etc. They are also small huts, having or keepable, from which newspapers, tickets, refreshment, etc. are sold. So it's small. You see a kiosk where somebody is normally having a stand. People usually stand, having only one door, with a place like a window where goods are sold through. That's talking about, I think, the last small-scale retailing. So we are now going straight to assignment. And the first one we have 3 questions. Number 1 says, state and explain any 5 factors to be considered in starting a retail business. Number 1, state and explain any 5 factors to be considered in starting a retail business. Number 2, state and explain 5 reasons why small-scale retailers may fail in the course of carrying out their businesses. Again, state and explain 5 reasons why small-scale retailers may fail in the course of carrying out their businesses. Number 3, the last one, differentiate between the following types of small-scale retailing with relevant examples. Differentiate between the following types of small-scale retailing with relevant examples. A, hawking and mobile shop. B, street trading and market trading. C, cash shops and small shops. A, hawking and mobile shop. B, street trading and market trading. C, tie shops and small shops. By the time you are done with your assignment, you can submit using these numbers. Number one, Abbas Shehu on 081 00127508. Abbas Shehu on 081 00127508. And here is Zakaria on 080 656 94134. Again, here is Zakaria on 080 656 94134. Stay home, stay safe, and keep learning. See you in our next class. Have a nice time.